I've been working with Primeinc for over 2 years. I have a combined experience of tanker division and intermodal division. And in this video, I'm going to share with you guys an overview of Primeinc and what you can really expect from them. I think it's only fair that we start off with the management team, and I'm talking about on the executive level, right? We have Robert Lowe. He's the CEO and owner of Primeinc. From what I was told, that he founded Primeinc in 1970 with just 2 dump trucks, and that he built this entire company to about over 9,000 trucks as of right now. Right underneath him is Daryl. Daryl is the president of Primeinc. His position was created sometime last year, and his role, what we were told, was strictly going to be on operation side of things. Now, if you look at the chart, I have about 3 people on the same level, and I do have to disclose this. I created this chart strictly based off my knowledge from a driver perspective. There are other branches of management team, such as sales, such as council, and all other. I created this chart mainly to kind of give you guys a brief understanding of the management level so that we don't get too confused or this video doesn't get too long. So with that being said, right underneath Robert Lowe, who's the CEO and the founder, we have President Daryl, and on the side of him we have Steve. Steve is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Right? He has his own team that works with customer, right? They are the one that's kind of up front getting loads, booking loads and stuff like that, which we're not going to get into it in this video. The other team that we have is safety team. Now, safety department has their own team that works with drivers, and they're kind of the folks that are kind of looking out to make sure that all the drivers are doing what they're supposed to do, and those who are not, who are violating policies and stuff like that, the way I would like to see is they're kind of a discipliner. You see how there isn't a branches of sales or safety, because like I said, there are a lot of teams that work with drivers. And in this video, I believe that sales and safety, they are not as relevant to us as the other folks. Right underneath Daryl, we have 4 divisions. Now there are actually 5 divisions, but I think they are still waiting to make the last one official. Right underneath Daryl, we have Jim, who is the director of refrigerated division. Right next to him, we have Brad. Brad takes care of the tanker division. He's the head of the tanker division. Right next to Brad, we have Brian. Brian is the head of flatbed division. Okay, and then we have Ryan, who is the director of intermodal. Now, I do have to say that these 4 divisions have their own management team. Okay, now, for example, I'm in tanker divisions, so we have Brad, who is the director of tanker divisions, and right underneath him we have dispatcher, and the dispatcher works with me. Right now, again, this is from my understanding and my interaction with them. I don't know if there is somebody in between dispatcher or Brad, because we don't have those knowledge, right? Those knowledge are not shared with us. So again, I report to my dispatcher, and my dispatcher reports to, again, my assumption and my understanding is that to Brad. All right, so that's kind of like the power structure or chain of command per se. Okay, so that's that, and that's with same reefer division, tanker division, flatbed, intermodal, and guess what? Hopper division as well. Now let's talk about a little bit about Hopper division, right? This division was also created last year, okay, if I'm correct, or it was announced last year. And what this division is, basically they haul grain. Now some of the Prime drivers probably looking at me funny because, hey, it's not a division yet, and you're right. It's not a division yet because right now it is kind of mingled with tanker division. Okay, matter of fact, almost all the drivers that are working are tanker drivers as well. Okay, so Hopper division was planned, I believe, and or announced last year, and since then it has picked up. But I believe they're still working the logistic side of it, and also I believe they are looking for a customer and whatnot. So I believe eventually that's going to be a division on its own. So now let me talk about operation and facilities. There are 3 main terminals, one in Piston, Pennsylvania, one in Springfield, Missouri, and one in Salt Lake City. These terminals focus not only from maintenance shop to detail shop to drivers training, and other facilities. But they also kind of work as a means for drivers to kind of upgrade whenever they complete a training session and whatnot. Okay, and it's also like a corporate offices. Now we also have a lot of wash, right? Tank washes. We have one in Indiana, Decatur, Indiana. We have one in Manuka, Illinois, and we have one in Savannah, Georgia. These wash basically come in a different settings and different size. For example, Manuka wash is like, we call it, for me, for a tanker division, that's like my terminal. I barely go to those three main terminals. I go to Manuka, they have shop, they have, a food grade tank wash, they have laundry, kitchen, you name it. It's to me, it's like a terminal. Other wash, Decatur, Indiana, similar, but it's not as big as Manuka. But the Savannah one is you just go, drop your dirty trailer, and then you leave. So Savannah wash doesn't have those amenities for drivers. In terms of operational side of things, Prime has great shops, like from trailer shop to tractor shop, right? And also like details and whatnot. So, this company has really kind of put the driver in the middle of it. And if you want like a certain service done, most likely they have it. Prime's driver trainings program. Now, there is a two-step before you can drive on your own. The first step is that CDL, okay? Whether you're bringing your own CDL, right, from whether you got it from other company. Now there's two steps. First step, we call it PSD phase, okay? And then you jump into TNT phase. So let me explain what PSD is. PSD is for anybody who do not have a license, but you have CDL permit. And after clearing through medical exam, your drug test and interview with Prime, and once you get in, right, or invited to their facilities, it's gonna be either Piston Terminal, Springfield Terminal, or Utah, Salt Lake City Terminal. It's gonna be one of those. You would basically go through a series of process, before you get your license. After you pass your CDL exam, now you're officially CDL drivers. And after that, you are gonna jump into TNT phase. TNT phase is basically you are gonna given a trainer, and you're gonna go on the road with the trainer, okay? It's gonna be a hands-on experience with a certified trainer, driver trainer, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna have to be with that trainer, basically trucking with them for the required mile. Now, Prime changes their required mile all the times, right? For example, I joined in at the beginning of 2023, and at that time, it was the required mile for you to complete before you can be on your own was about 50,000 miles. And then they changed down to 35. So if I was you, your first question to the recruiter should be, what's the required mile for you to complete before you can jump onto your own? Once you finish your TNT phase, then you'll be given a choice. And the choices that you're going to be presented is, are you going to be a company driver or are you going to be an owner operator? Basically, the difference is company driver, you'll be paid by mile, and owner operator is basically you are going to work with Success Leasing and you're going to sign a lease, or you're going to rent a truck or tractor, right? You are going to be paying weekly payment. Owner operator are paid by the percentage of the load, and every division is different. The tanker division is about 71% of the total revenue, and the rest is taken by Prime. Success Leasing and Pedigree, right? These two are they kind of do the same thing, but they are tailored toward a very specific customer. Success Leasing deal with drivers, right? Prime drivers, whether you are company or owner operator, they are the one that's going to provide that truck. Whereas Pedigree, they are the one that basically sell those tractor and trailers to outside folks. Or you can be a driver, but you're basically buying off of them, and it's going to be a used equipment that they're going to provide. Now look, I have so far talked about the divisions, right? 4 divisions, or let's say 5 divisions. We have talked about the facilities, we have talked about Success Leasing, and all this topic that I'm going to talk about in this video, I am going to be making a dedicated video on all of those. So if I'm missing some information, don't panic. I will be posting all of those episodes soon. So make sure to stick around, all right? So coming back to Success Leasing. Let's say you finish your TNT phase, and now you are given the opportunity. Now let's say you chose the owner-operator route. Owner-operator basically means you're gonna work with Success Leasing to lease a truck, okay? Which also means that you are renting from them. Now there's 2 types of leasing. One is standard leasing and one is lease purchase, all right, or ACE leasing. The difference between them is one, the standard leasing is basically you're paying them weekly to use the equipment, and after the contract ends, you're gonna turn in the truck, and then there's gonna be a little bit of money that they're gonna take every mile that you drive. They're gonna take a little bit of money out of your paycheck, and at the end, you're gonna accumulate those money. And what they're gonna do is at the end, they are gonna basically deduct all the damages and all the fixes that they need to do, right? They're gonna deduct that cost, and they're gonna give you whatever's left over. Now, the way that lease purchase work is basically you put down $15,000, and after that, they're gonna give you a brand new truck. You're gonna take that truck, and when you finish that contract, and the contract, the duration of contract is different in divisions, right? For example, I believe reefer and flatbed, they are, and intermodal, they are 3 years long lease. Okay, so you put down 15,000, you drive for 3 years, you pay all the payment, right, weekly payment, and at the end of that lease, you're gonna have a balloon payment of $100. You give them $100, and they're gonna give you the title, and the truck is yours. You can continue to use that truck into the fleet, or you can sell it and take whatever the money is. Here is kind of what a lot of drivers do. They like to do the standard leasing because imagine this, you're driving, right? Every mile you drive, they take few cents, right, out of that mile, right, out of that paycheck. And what's gonna happen is at the end, you're gonna have about, again, it depends on how good of a year you had. But I've heard people taking about 12,000, 8,000, 20,000. Again, it really depends on how much mile you ran, okay? Now, in terms of my opinion as to which route I go, right now I'm in a lease purchase contract, right? And my contract is gonna end in June of 2026, which means I have 1 more year. I will get into the nitty gritty of this when I make a episode on this, right? So look out for that. But for now, that's what Success Leasing and Pedigree is. Pedigree is simple. They are selling the trucks that these drivers who finish the contract, and the equipment that they're gonna sell be really right on the edge of the warranty expirations, right? Because when you get a new truck, those truck comes with a manufacturer warranty, right? So if something breaks down, a lot of engine and other stuff are covered. Now, once you hit that 600 mile on each equipment, right? Mainly truck. I'm talking about truck. Trailers, I don't know much because I don't deal with the truck contract. Trailer contract. But truck, you have basically about 600 mile, or you have 4 years. And once you get to that kind of end, Prime don't like to hold on to those equipment. They like to just sell it through Pedigree, right? So what they have is they have equipment, right? The drivers that are paying off the truck, right? You see where I'm going with this, right? They're paying off the truck, and Success Leasing take that truck and put it in the Pedigree. Through Pedigree, they sell it to whoever want to buy, right? And I did it. I bought it through Pedigree, but that kind of turned into ACE lease. So that's kind of how I got my truck. If you are looking to buy through Pedigree, hit me up. I will be more than happy to connect with you, my connection, so that you have an easier time, because I had a wonderful time with them. Safety department and the camera. You probably recently saw a video about drivers quitting Prime because of their experience with the security plus what happened with their loads, right? Now look, at the end of the day, almost every big corporations have security department or safety department, and with that comes disciplining, and they're not always going to be right. The method they use is not always going to be right, and they're not always going to be fair. And I'm not speaking up for Prime, I am not, but at the end of the day, we have to deal with them as a driver. So I'd rather have you know about them than jump into Prime and later on find out that they are not what you think. Safety department basically have access to us, right? And they are kind of focused on, or I would rather even say they kind of monitor us. The trailer, the truck, more so truck, comes with the sensor, right? From speed to a forward collision to hard braking. All of these sensors are always kind of monitoring how we drive. Let's say I'm driving and something, let's say there's a red light and I'm kind of coming in fast and I slam on the brake. Well, guess what happens? The safety department is gonna get a report from my truck, and we call that hard braking. Now that's just one report, right? That can go. We also have forward collision warning. Okay, we have stability control, right? So stability, if we're going kind of fast around the curve, well, guess what? You have stability, warning. And you can only have so much. Matter of fact, I know that a YouTuber who we kind of went through a kind of similar time frame in terms of our training and whatnot. He was also in the tanker division. I'm not gonna name it, but amazing dude. I follow him, and I was kind of sad that he left. But he basically later on made a video saying that the reason why he left was because he had too many stability control. warning, and safety kind of, his dispatcher kind of gave him kind of ultimatum, or kind of gave him a heads up that where the, safety department was. So rather than being fired, he just left, so that's kind of where we are. And look, there are a lot of things that safety has done in the past that a lot of drivers are not happy with. And, on top of that, now we have a camera. We have inward facing camera, inward and outward facing camera, right? And what that camera does is basically we're driving down the road, and let's say we kind of yawn, right? Or we have this facial expression, and it's all AI. So what it does is a lot of time it just kind of flags things. Like for example, yesterday I was just kind of running my tongue, right? And I was just opening my mouth and running my tongue, and I got two basically report, and it literally captures the video, not the audio, but just a video. It has two report of me, driver drowsiness, okay? And the video basically has me opening my mouth and going like this. That's it. So now obviously I'm able to review it, and I'm able to kind of leave a comment so that they can hopefully rectify that. That's what the camera does. So now we went from basically having a sensor in the truck, right, to now having almost like a sensor right in front of our face. Now look, a lot of drivers have quit over this issue, and you're probably wondering then why are you still with Prime? My thing is, look, even though that the camera is there and it's not always right, I kind of like the fact that the outward facing camera is on for I believe 10 to 11 hours even after I turn off the truck, and the front facing camera is going to be on about 3 minutes after I turn off the truck. Now look, in terms of driving, there are times where I literally lean down to put my trash away, right, because I was eating, and it recorded me for that. It's not perfect, all right, I don't like it, but guess what, it's company policy, and I can either leave or I can follow the rule and follow their policy, and that's what I'm choosing to do till I can make that decision of leaving, right? So when you are thinking about coming into Prime, just know that there is going to be so many things that you need to take in account to come to that decision. And I am going to be publishing about 8 other episodes that you're going to be going through eventually, or hopefully, and that is going to address all of the topic I talked about. My hope is that once you finish all those videos, you have materials on your table, on your plate, so that you can use those to make your decision whether to come to Prime or not. And if you are with Prime, or you've been with Prime for however many years, and you are watching this video, I just want to say thank you, and I hope you stick around, because I'm going to be creating a lot of content around Primeinc and truck, and I would love to create this community where we can talk and update each other. Okay, so we're at the end of the video, and you made it till the end. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some value out of this video. And if you are looking to join Prime, and after watching this video, you got some information, and now you're 110% sure that you're gonna join Prime, then please consider using my driver referral code. I'll get a little bit of money once you complete the whole program, and it will help the channel grow out. But if not, then good luck to you. Continue looking for informations. I am going to do my best to produce as many videos on Prime as I can and as soon as possible. But if you want to know information like right away because you are thinking about submitting that application, then just hit me up at this email, okay? And I'll get back to you whether we need to schedule a video chat or just phone conversation. We'll figure that out. Just send me an email and I'll do my best to help you, give you information, whatever you're looking for, all right? So with that being said, I want to thank you again, and I will see you guys on next episode.